Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered! Today it's going to be a match between Larva and Mini on Transistor 1.2. Top right-hand corner, we have the Protoss player. His name is Mini. He's a Korean player who played at Protoss for STX Seoul. And in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the Red Zerg player. It is Larva. I know it says Mu.Sapa versus Adult Rabbit, but trust me, this is Larva versus Mini. Somebody asked, how come your Nexus is blue? That's because I pre-ordered StarCraft Remastered back before it was available to the public. That's what pre-order means, I realize now. Yes, that was redundant. Okay, so that's why the hatchery looks this way as well, in case you were wondering. It's going to be a ZVP here on Transistor. Got this replay off of teamliquid.net. Went back, found more replays, and I'm not really worried about running out anymore, but as long as people keep playing StarCraft, I will have replays to cast. Somebody said that this area up here, there's a little red, a little bit of red here for the Zerg player, a little bit of brown here for the Protoss player. They said that that is cut off on my casts. I'll have to check that. This is a just a reminder for me to check that. Okay, so Larva is going to go ahead and go hatch first here against Mini. Just kidding. Holy smokes, that is a spawning pool. That is a spawning pool for sure. Oh, I was looking at the minerals for our Protoss player, who actually is going to go Nexus first here. All right, man. Nexus first play against Larva seems a little bit iffy, man. Seems a little bit gutsy. No forge at all. He's not going to have any cannons to defend with for a little bit of time here, and that was a spawning pool first out of Larva. Very interesting play into that hatch, so nothing too nuts from him. Not going to be a 6 pool, obviously, or he would have seen that a lot earlier, but he's just basically hoping that he will have the forge up in the cannons in time, get a gateway in there to help the wall off. Overlord is scouting the correct direction, which is exactly something that Larva needs it to do in order to see what's going on from the Protoss player. Probe wanders on in to see what's going on, sees the timing on that spawning pool, and says, oh, garbage. That pool is done. There are lings on the way. I've got to wall this off now. And he is. He's throwing up a gateway. He's going to go. He's got to get a cannon, too. As soon as he has the minerals for it, that's the 150. He's making another probe. There's the cannon. There's the gateway. And he should be able to hold this with a probe at the front there. So no ling run-bys are possible. Attempted third base, possibly here from Larva. The probe is fighting really hard. That drone is exceptionally injured already. Look at this. Oh, this is beautiful play for Mini. APM about 370 for him, 420 for Larva right now. Zerglings come in and say, get out. This is our neighborhood. Look at the drone still fighting. The drone's like, I want to make sure that probe is dead before I throw down a hatchery. I have a personal vendetta here. And indeed, the probe does go down. The hatchery goes down too. So yeah, this worked out pretty well for Mini. It's a 4-player map. You can get away with a Nexus first style play here against Zerg on a 4-player map just because it takes them a while to scout you. Takes them a while to figure out where you are, and especially on a bigger map like this, it takes forever to lings to get up to your location. Is he even making a zealot to hold this? Not really. He is really not worried about run-bys, is he? Now, what is back here on this map? This is what I'm curious about. Is this a back door that can be taken advantage of by the Zerg player, or is that an easy third base? Holy crap. Is that an easy third base back there? Yeah, sort of. It does have a huge wide ramp leading into it. Oh, which explains this wall-off technique. Okay, it kind of covers this back door as well as the front door with that cannon, so small numbers of lings can't do much of anything. I like it. I like that for Mini very, very much. One of the trivia and facts about Mini, according to Liquipedia, is that he is known for his usage of the shield battery. So we'll see if he actually busts out some shield batteries or not. I honestly wouldn't mind. I like to see the shield battery in Brood War. It's a good unit. Regenerating shields is worth its weight in gold, in my opinion. We don't see a whole ton of it from Protoss players in ZVP, especially they will in outlying bases, just because when Hydras show up, having some shield regeneration is really worth its weight in gold. So, second Nexus here, building probes, got a Stargate on the way. The Corsair production is going to begin for the Protoss player. Lair is done. Is there any secondary tech here from Larva? Not that I'm seeing. He's working on Pneumatized Carapace. For faster Overlord movement, it does allow the Overlords to fly away, to flee from the Corsairs a little bit faster than their non-Pneumatized Carapace friends. +1 air weapons on the way here too from Mini, and really just probing up pretty hard at this stage of the game. He's getting +1 attack for his Zealots. Getting a second assimilator. It's already done. And another pylon just to make sure he doesn't get supply blocked. So yeah, this is turning into a pretty heavy macro style game, which I think a lot of people are most interested in. The longer the game is, the more views it seems like I get. A lot of the most viewed videos on my channel these days are Brood War casts that went for 30 to 40 minutes. So people, that's what they're looking for, apparently. And I think that's one of the reasons you probably click on this as a bit of a longer game too. Zerglings coming around, they're going to come up this backside, and this is a good number of lings. Is that 6 of them? 6 lings here. 2 cannons, though. Yeah, okay, so 2 Zerglings got past the cannons, and they're going to pick off a probe. They have speed. They're going to be annoying until the end of time against the Zealot. This Zealot can't catch him. He doesn't have leg enhancements. Even if he did, he can't catch these guys. It's a little bit easier with angles to do it, but man, these lings, as long as they don't wander too close to the cannons, another probe goes down. This control by Larva is really, really good right now. He's going for Hydras back home. Oh, hold on. Ah, the lings, just when I said his control was great, he loses them to probes effectively there. That's not as good as I wanted it to be. That's okay. Another hatch up here. It's 2 macro hatches at the natural base location. Corsair trying to kill that Overlord. Overlord is close to death, but the Hydras are going to chase away the Corsair and get out of the house. Overlords, yep, with speed, pulling back home. What is that? That is amazing. Is that a giant mineral patch that you have to mine to take this base? I gotta really pay attention to that. How do you deal with it? I'm very excited. Very excited to see what that one's going to be. So macro hatches here for the Zerg player. Going for that Hydra play. He's going for speed for Hydras. He's going for missile attacks for Hydralisks. One of my favorite units of all time in StarCraft Brood War for sure is the Hydralisk. Just so versatile. Really good in all matchups and in all situations for the most part. And I was really sad that they were effectively a non-factor in StarCraft 2 for many, many years. StarCraft 1 and, well, sorry, Wings of Liberty, the first expansion of StarCraft 2, and Heart of the Swarm, Hydras didn't really have a great place unless your opponent was going for air. Otherwise, they just died everything so quickly. But I think in Legacy of the Void, they've done a good job balancing the Hydra. They're available, but they're not overpowering, and it just makes me pleased to see them back in the current game of StarCraft 2. Storm being researched by Mini. He's working on Dark Templar, High Templar in production too from him, and it's just going to be range, attack range upgrade for Hydralisks too. Is that another hatchery? Larva loves his hatches, man. He's got effectively 3 mining bases, but he's going to have 6 hatcheries here. I love it. I really do. More Larva, more production. Let's do it. Let's do it all day, Larva. I'm with you on this one. Hydralisks, trying to get rid of those Corsair. The Corsair keep taking shots, which is not what they want to do. If they die, that means a Mutatech switch is incredibly viable right now. That is so many Hydras. Oh my gosh, that is so many Hydras from Larva. Those Zealots wanted nothing to do with that group at all. The Corsairs did not either. So Hydras kind of split up between the different bases, dealing with Corsair attacks on their friends. And that's why you're getting Storm. You are getting Storm as many because, holy crap, so many Hydralisks. Getting +2 attack right now is Mini. Got a Zergling scouting this third base location, this potential third base location for Mini. That was some pretty good micro. Keeping the Hydra in front of the Zealot, so the other Hydras could pick him off from distance here. And this giant Kaidaran crystal formation is really interesting me. Somebody better take this. Someone take it. I bet you have to attack it. I think you have to attack it. Hey, Hydras, come attack this thing for me. No. It's over here. Go this way. Not going this way. They are in little Hydralisk hunting packs trying to find these Zealots. Trying to find these Corsairs, and they're actually doing a pretty good job with it. Look at these Zealots, man. They're on top. They're taking some shots. They're taking out a couple Hydras there. They are not going to go down without a fight. That's absolutely for sure. So a lot of Zealots, a lot of Storm, a lot of Corsair from Mini here. Pretty good composition to deal with Hydras. Hydras take some Storms. The Zealots can dash in and finish them off, especially in a situation where Hydras are the aggressor. Zealots are good because if they force the Hydras to retreat, that's exactly what you want them to do. And out in the open, not as good, just because the Hydras can kite forever and ever, but not in an attacking position. The Hydras do not want to go back. They want to push forward. Lurker aspect being researched by Larva. Oh, the Corsairs trying to pick off these Overlords, recognizing there are some DTs here. First Storm of the day along that right side. Hydra group on the left side, really big too. Another Storm weakening these dudes quite nicely, but the High Templars need to get out. There are still too many Hydras remaining right now. Oh, it takes another storm, but all the High Templars are getting absolutely destroyed there. Ouch. That was brutal for Mini. Does he have any High Templar left at all? I don't think he does. I am not convinced that he does. It's 99 to 90 supply right now, so Mini's up, but that is standard in ZVP. The Zerg's going to be down here, but still in a pretty darn good position anyway for about the first 10 to 15 minutes of the game, and then things get a little bit insane. Fourth base, morphing on in here, mutating. Rather, it's interesting it's called mutating. I guess it is a drone mutating into a hatch, right? Ooh, Dark Templar showed up. He is hard to see on this map. He is brown against like a dark gray background. Always waiting for drones to come in. He doesn't want to kill the hatch. He wants to kill drones. What a smart Dark Templar you are. Good job, Mini. And by that I mean he's not actually attacking anything right now. What are these drones doing? They got rallied over here, but now we can get back to work. And now the Dark Templar are going to go wham. Wham. Just holds position, man. If you run around, that slows you down a lot. There's no detection here. The Zealots are coming on in to try to distract from the fact that there is a massive drone massacre going on over here at this fourth base. The Zealots are attacking pretty darn well. The Lurkers are being used to zone them out a little bit, which is some great play from Larva. Is he still alive? He's got 14 kills! 14 kills on that Dark Templar. The Zealots getting cleared out by Lurkers. So good against Zealots. That's why Larva went for Lurkers so fast, was because the Zealot count was so high. Did our Dark Templar die? Where did he go? He snuck up here. He's smart. He knows there was an Overlord coming, and he got out of there before the death approached him and finished him off. But dang, son, getting 14 drone kills is an amazing accomplishment. Good patience there by Mini, not just to start hacking away at the hatch, but waiting until a big old drone transfer showed up. Third base is done here for Mini. High Templar defending, Cannons defending, as is Tradition and Dragoon production on the way here too. Dragoons you really need in order to deal with those Lurkers. They're your best bet. Reavers are pretty good too, Storm good as well. But Dragoons, just for straight up, we can consistently attack them and really not take much damage. That's going to be your answer for sure. It is a Spire on the way. It's a Queen's Nest for Larva. Oh, Dark Templar wandering in. This Dark Templar attack, this style of Mini is doing incredible amounts of work to Larva's economy. Oh, the double storm drop. It is just worker massacre right now. The DTs did get picked off as some Hydras and some Overlords finally discovered them, but Larva, I would not be surprised if he was down to half of the drone count that he was previously. It's a pretty good saturation at his third base and his fourth base right now, but man, he took some serious hits to his main and to his natural. He is upgrading to a hive now that the Queen's Nest is done. It really shouldn't be used for anything else at this stage of the game, just because Queens are easily picked off by Corsair, and the Corsair group, again, is sort of a big deal of what Mini is working on. Here they are, going after an Overlord. They got +1 attack. Are they working on +2? Not really. We're not moving into Stargate air-type stuff at all right now for Mini. I need somebody to do something about this Khaydarin crystal formation. It's driving me insane. It really is. This 14-kill DT is still running around. He's still alive. I like him a lot. I mean, we could just argue this is... Oh, he denies an expansion, too. For his 15th kill, Larva was trying to go to this location. No, said the Dark Templar. Absolutely not. Not allowed. Khaydarin Amulet upgrade coming in from Mini. We've got Dragoons marching on out. They have +2 attack. Look at all these Dragoons. So good. Some Storm against the Hydras, Dragoons against the Lurkers. Exactly what you got to do. Mini is playing this perfectly right now. He's up 161 to 138. These upcoming battles are the ones that really matter, though. Can you deny bases? The answer is yes. Can you take another base of your own? The answer is yes here for Mini 2. Do you want to march up a ramp? Not really. Look at these Lurker eggs being used to hold that ramp a little bit. Dragoons fighting from distance, using that Singularity Charge upgrade to the best of their ability, storming on these Lurker eggs to kill them so they can't actually hatch. That's amazing. What a play. More Sunken Colonies trying to come in, more static defense against this little ramp area, and Mini doesn't like what he sees. He decides to pull out. Says, not that wonderful as it turns out. But it is going to be a 4-basing Protoss versus a 4-basing Zerg. 168 to 146 supply. Larva is working on, that's Adrenal Glands. In fact, it is. Zergling attack upgrades. Transitioning into Zerglings when your opponent goes for Dragoons is what you want to do in a ZVP. Just because, again, Dragoons are horrible. Absolutely horrible against Zerglings, which is why you have the Zealots, which is why you have the Storm, which is why you need everything in one big package to deal with a Zerg player as good as Larva is. So many Sunkens. This is a lot of static defense from Larva. I kind of like this Larva style, to be honest. Oh, this DT, man. He's going to die, but he has 19 kills before he gets picked off. Way to go, Idaho. Okay, he's probably not from Idaho because he's Protoss, but nevertheless, one of my favorite cheers. Overlord, down. Ooh, Storm Drop. Oh, the reaction time really good that time from Larva. He didn't lose a whole ton. Probably more than he wanted to, but still. Could have been worse. This Sunken, this is for Zealots. This little Sunken Lurker line is for Zealots coming in. Not as great against Dragoons, but Zealots will get melted by that for sure. Okay, seriously, you're right there. Just take it down. Larva still not taking a 5th base here, ladies and gents. 168 to 180 supply. Oh, free observers. Where are they going? Oh, bad rally. Bad movement path there. They were told with the rest of the army to go here. They took as the crow flies path, which flew them over these hydras on the high ground. Oh, that's brutal. That is brutal for Mini. He has to replace those observers, and they're about 75 gas, if I remember correctly. Where is it being made? There we go. Can't tell now, but I'm pretty sure there's 75 gas, which is not what you want to do. Not something you should want to do if you're a Protoss player at this stage of the game, is make more observers. Oh, Zerglings coming in. The Storm and the Zealots doing some work. Storming his own units a little bit. Storm does do friendly damage, as we have seen time and time again. Okay, I really need this to be something. Is he going to mine from it? Is he just throwing out a hatch right here? It looks like he kind of sat down to throw down a hatch, but no. Zerglings with +1/+1 attack along that right side, and the Adrenal Glands upgrade. Dragoons have +3 attack along with the Zealots and the DTs. High Templar here does have enough energy for 2 Storms, which is traditionally what you want. These Zealots are going to go after these Lings. They've got +3 attack, and they're going to be just fine. Thank you very much against that number of Lings. The numbers worked out exceptionally well. Zerglings trying to crush on into this 3rd base. Nope, Cannons and Storm. Cannons and Storm is all that you really need. We have Defilers on the way from Larva. He has kind of really eschewed the whole Jaedong style of Dark Swarm and Plague and stuff in ZVP. And as a more recent player, as a younger player, he's really started to just kind of overwhelm his Protoss opponents with a lot of stuff. He's now getting Plague for Defilers, as I started talking about that. But this far into the game, he's just trying to out-macro his opponent, send a huge unit count at them. Okay, this is seriously... Kenya, I don't know. Mini's marching on in regardless. More Lings running up to avenge the deaths of their friends. A Storm here would be incredible, but there's not enough energy for a Storm. Unfortunately for Mini's High Templar there. Storm to the high ground. Done to catch those Lurkers. Trying to hit him from distance with the Dragoons. And one of them does go down to a Storm eventually there. Working on armor upgrades, working on shield upgrades. This is a Larva running on in. Storms would be incredible here. He doesn't have enough energy for a Storm. He almost does. There it is. There's the Storm on the ramp. Is there enough to defend here? It looks like there very well could be. And in fact, there is. The cannons are all dead. But we've got Archons out. We've got Zealots on top of Hydras that are not being microed all that well. And that's going to be enough to shut that sucker down. So yeah, the Kadarin Crystal Formation, there's got to be a way to remove it. I'm surprised Lurkers aren't attacking it if they can. Do you mine from it? What are these drones going to do? Just mine from regular mineral fields? That's super boring. I mean, this is literally just a mineral field enlarged and put on the map. So you can't put a hatchery in the correct location. I don't know why this is the only place on the map that has one. But dang. Mini has a lot of bases, you guys. He is killing it right now. 196 to 199 supply. See, I told you, Larva would be fine. He's maxed out here at the 18-19 minute mark. Bit of an Archon drop sneaking on in. I feel like a Templar drop would have been better in this situation. Am I wrong about this? I don't know. A drop attempt here. Oh, the Scourge are in versus the Corsair Storm. On top of everything that is trying to land here, the Ling drop is absolutely getting crushed into powder by what Mini is doing. This base in a lot of trouble versus these +3 Archons too. A lot of Hydras show up, and that's going to be enough to chase the Protoss player away a little bit. Anything left in these Overlords? No. That is how you deal with the drop, ladies and gentlemen. Allow your cannons to take the shots. Some of your Corsairs might die to the Scourge, but man, otherwise, you might be just fine. Look who's coming in with more units. I think feeling pretty good about this is Mini. He's holding behind this mineral line. He's holding behind this hatchery. And he's taking care of all comers. Lurkers are getting picked off here. Archon's in the front dealing with the Lings. Scourge getting destroyed from the ground here too. And that splash damage. And suddenly it's 178 to 154 supply. Oh, that one Archon wandered into too many Lurkers though. As it turns out. Too many Lurkers. And that's what Dark Swarm is for. Dark Swarm can do the thing where these Dragoons are horrible against Lurkers, whereas normally they're really, really good against Lurkers. Look at these Lurkers just getting absolutely picked off here. Wow, what control from Larva. Another one dies before it can actually burrow. Zerglings are the problem, though. However, not when you outnumber them 8 to 1, as it turns out. So, yeah, this base still not mining. Here comes a Defiler. I assume with about full energy. There's a Plague. Oh, he catches 6 of those Dragoons quite nicely. And now the Dragoons are going to die. There's the Dark Swarm. 4 kills, 3 kills, and that's going to be all she wrote. So good hold there by Larva. Lost a lot of mining time on this base, but otherwise not doing too terribly. Another hatch from Larva. He just enjoys being able to make a billion units at once, it would seem. Chitinous plating on the way. Ultralisk armor has been, well, is in the process of being researched. We got Reavers on the way here too from Mini. High Templar continuing to be produced are just an incredible staple because it ignores Dark Swarm for the, like, that's the main reason. Well, it's a big reason that Storm is so good in ZVP is that it ignores Dark Swarm, 1. And 2, it's amazing against pretty much everything but Ultralisks from the Zerg army. Archon Zealot versus this little attempted Ling run by. That was an unnecessary Storm. Well, I don't know, more Lings are running in. Trying to pick off the High Templar, but no, the High Templar remain alive. Some of them had to kind of take the defense into their own hands a little bit, but that's okay. That is totally just fine if they have to work to survive for the next couple of minutes. No big deal. So yeah, Reaver production coming out of this here robotics facility, as well as another one somewhere on the map. We got the Reavers, as is tradition. It's going to be Reaver drop style stuff from Mini. Is that a High Templar? No, that was a Dark Templar? That was something. That sounded like a Dark Templar death noise. Templar of some kind, anyway. Something along those lines. Sunken Colony mutating in, popping. Shuttle running around. Did he get a Storm off? He might have gotten a Storm off. At the same time, there are some Lings there too, so maybe not. Maybe not. Oh, Dragoon caught in the middle of nowhere. Does get crushed down by the Zerglings. We are maxed out in army supply right now. Archons continuing to be made, rolling around with a weird little composition of Ling, Lurker, Overlord, Scourge. Gonna go after this base along the left side of Minis. Dark Swarm is up. The Hiders are protected. Storming the Lurkers. Is there enough? The Reavers need to get some shots off here. But no, they get target fired down and immediately overrun by Zerglings. The cannons can't do anything about this. The Dark Swarm really protecting those Hiders as long as they needed to. The army coming in to try to save their base if they can, but it's too many Lurker. The Dark Swarm protection is pretty darn good there as well. And it looks like this Nexus is absolutely going to fall. The Hiders have +3 attack and +2 armor right now. So good against most everything in the game, with the exception of probably Zealots in this particular matchup. Robotics facility down. Oh, that's where the second one was. At this base that is now completely wrecked. No Protoss remaining on it whatsoever. Floating a pretty good bank here is Larva, 2,700 minerals, 4,500 gas for the Zerg player. Mini sitting on 600 gas, not where he wants to be, and now he's down to a 4-base economy versus Larva's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-base economy. And honestly, he could probably expand up here too if he wanted at this stage of the game. All right, coming on down. Here comes Mini. He's got to make something happen here. He is in trouble. Losing that base is not something he could really afford to do. Still attacking on in, though. Can't go home yet. That Storm missed that Lurker? I think it did. And the Defiler wanders in. Zealot's chasing after him. Another attack, and here comes the Protoss attack against a ton of sunken colonies right now. Archons in the front as well. Drones running for their lives. That is a smashing through by Mini. He's going to take down this hatchery. Larva is conceding the fact. He's allowing it to go. Hatch down in just a couple of seconds here. Archons with upgrades. Dragoons with upgrades. Pretty darn good stuff. Ling counterattack to end all Ling counterattacks, though. How many storms do you need? How many cannons do you need to shut this down? The answer is a lot of storms and a lot of cannons, but you can do it. Continuing to march around here is Mini. He's got Dragoons. He's got the Archons. He's got Zealots in the front. But holding pretty well here are these Sunkens and these Lurkers. As I predicted, this is the thing. This is the thing that was set up to deal with that. Ultras are out. Is there anything good against Ultra here? Archon not bad against Ultra. High Templar feels a little bit useless against Ultra. Killing Overlords, but not quite supply blocking. Yeah, I mean, still at 200 available supply is Larva. He's okay. He can afford to lose a couple Overlords. Nice Storm Drop. Holy crap. Incredible Storm Drop there from Mini. Don't lose the High Templar. Was there no room? There was room in the shuttle. Shuttle gets picked off by Scourge. Here comes the Ultra attack against Storm and Cannons. Nope, none of this is going to stop Ultras from destroying this base. Mini's economy is getting wrecked right now. He's in a heck of a lot of trouble. Nexus down. Pylon down. Army coming back to try to deal with his Ultralisk force. High Templar has a Storm available, almost two, but what do you do about it? Well, first of all, you get killed by a Zergling, apparently. That's what this guy does about it. And the Ultras decided to go home. They've got speed. They can get there. They're much more zippy than the Protoss army happens to be right now. Ultras, see, running away, or away from the Protoss army. Intelligently recognizing we don't really need to engage unless we want to. And so they're not going to. 198 to 152 supply. Larva is just doing very, very well for himself. Archon drop along the left side trying to take down a hatchery. Zerglings versus Archons who are not attacking back. The hatch goes down. Ooh, the shuttle saved it, though. Saved it nicely. Another engagement in the middle of the map here. Ultralisk, Storm, Archons, High Templar, Zerglings. Oh, the Zerglings, though. Yeah, not good. Not good for the Zerglings. I think I'll use that as the thumbnail, which you probably have already seen. So you knew. You're like, I recognize this scene. It's on the thumbnail. Another attack of Ultralisks. This is just relentless out of Larva. This little last vestige of mining base from Mini is gone. Okay, technically he has this, but I feel like there are about 7 workers here, which is not a good number. Not a good number of workers at all. And again, the Ultras don't press their luck. They don't go inside the main base. They don't try to get up this ramp. It's a weird place for them. Their pathing will screw up. And they can just hold on and just try to starve out Mini by killing his expansions. No need to go into the main at all. Corsair still flying around, man. These Corsair have been alive for a while. 4 kills and 9 kills each. I jinxed the one. Yep, one day from retirement. That's what that Corsair was. And that guy dies too to Scourge. I think that's it for the Corsair. I really think it is. Dark Templar tries to wander in. Nope, definitely not. Dropping Reavers here. We got Storm, we got Archons. Lings on top of Reavers. Not necessarily something that you'd always see, but working pretty well here regardless. The Ultra tries to kill him. The shuttle needs to find a good place to land. Coming up this choke is very difficult for Mini right now. These Archons are just taking so much splash damage from the Lurkers. It is problematic. From the backside, though, here comes some Ultras. And some Zerglings, and then from the front side here, too. It is going to be a bit of a 360 surround against this army. And yeah, the Archons are dead. Who gets out? A shuttle leaves with a Reaver. These observers live as well. It's 199 to 83 supply, and that is your good game. Mini has left the game, and Larva is your winner in 28 minutes and 35 seconds. Yeah, I mean, just look. There's another base over here from Larva. Man, what did he finish with? 1, 2, 3. Look at all these hatches at that natural base location. 3, 4, 5. I want to say it's a 6, 7-ish base style economy from him. I think he ended up with 7. 7 sounds about right. My goodness. Just amazing. Amazing stuff from our Zerg player. 100%. So good job by him. Mini did what you needed to do. It was going to be Archons. It's going to be High Templar. It's going to be Reavers, especially dealing with these Ultras. But in the end, just not enough. Not enough control. Lost a couple bases. Finally, the Dark Swarm popped out. Just the overwhelming numbers of Ultras, though, it's not going to be enough. The Storm is not going to be enough. You need really good Reaver hits to make that thing happen, to shut that thing down. So Good job by Larva. He gets the win in about 28 minutes. Let's go ahead and check out that final score, as I know all y'all like to see. It's going to be 685 units produced, or killed rather, here by Mini. 916 produced by Larva. So yeah, leaving about 300 behind at the end of the day. Produced 288 and lost 236. Did Mini there. Buildings constructed, and that's actually not something that we care about. Resources here, yeah, just Larva across the board, man. 21,000 to 18,000 gas mined, 56,000 minerals mined to 43,000, and 76 to 60 on spent. That's how you got to do it as Zerg. You got to mine more, you got to spend more, you got to lose more, but in the end you can win just because you can produce units faster than your opponents can. All right, well, that's going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.